everyone. This is week 2 of the summer reading program, sponsored by the Goff Nelson Library and the Kiwanis Club of Tupper Lake. Today our theme is dragons and unicorns. And the first book that I'm going to be reading is called The Dragon Was Terrible. And it's written by Kelly DiPucchio, and the pictures are by Greg Pizzoli. And I'm reading today courtesy of Farrar, Straus, Giroux. Dragon was terrible. Naturally, dragons have a bit of terrible in them because they're dangerous after all. But this dragon here, super terrible. He stomped on flowers, he played tricks on the guards, and he spit on cupcakes. Who does that? Dragon, that's who. That's not all. He scribbled in books. He threw sand. And he took candy from baby unicorns. Honestly, that's terrible. The king had had enough. Enough, he said. And he posted this sign. Brave knights, whoever shall tame the terrible dragon shall be rewarded with a gift. It shall be a nice gift. Ye shall like it. His Royal Majesty, the King. Dragon was here. Knights lined up to show off their dragon taming skills. They all failed miserably, and Dragon just grew more terrible. He chased fuzzy yellow ducklings around the moat. He teepeed the castle, and he burned every last royal marshmallow to a blackened crisp. The villagers had had enough. Enough, they said. And they posted this sign. Brave people, whoever shall tame the terrible dragon shall be rewarded with a gift from the king. It shall be a nice gift, we hope. Ye shall like it. His Royal Majesty, the King. Dragon was here again. Ordinary blokes and lassies lined up to try their hand at taming the dragon. They all failed, embarrassingly so. And just when you thought it wasn't possible, Dragon grew even more terrible. He popped birthday balloons, he drew funny faces on the drawbridge, and he burped in church loudly. Honestly, that's terrible and rude. A boy wearing a feathered cap and a look of determination had had enough. Only he didn't say enough like you thought he would. Instead, he sketched a story. The next day, Dragon followed a trail of marshmallows to a shady tree where the boy was reading. The boy spied the dragon out of the corner of his eye and began to read aloud in a booming voice. And then the brave dragon swooped in to save the princess. He said, Dragon stopped in his tracks. But the terrible knight pulled out his wicked sword. Dragon pretended not to listen. The brave dragon roared, and the fraidy cat knight trembled in his boots. Dragon pretended to walk away. A crowd began to gather, and Dragon took cover in a tree. The boy continued reading, page after page after page, until... Snap! Crash! Dragon landed on the ground with a terrible thud. The crowd gasped. The dragon roared. The clever boy didn't flinch. He reached out a hand to the dragon and said, Would you like to hear how the story ends? And just when you thought it wasn't possible, Dragon smiled. And he took a seat beneath the tree with the other children. Honestly, that's adorable. The king cheered, the villagers cheered, the baby unicorn and fuzzy ducklings cheered the loudest of all. At long last, the terrible dragon had been tamed. The end. Hey, wait! What about the reward? Oh yes, that. The gift was a new friend, a nice dragon, of course. Now it's the end. All right, and our second story is going to be read by Mrs. Shaheen, and it's about unicorns, so enjoy!
Good morning. I'm going to read to you about Uni the Unicorn by Amy Krauss Rosenthal and illustrated by Bridget Berger. This is all about a story about believing. In almost every way, Uni was like all the other unicorns. Magnificent mane through Uni's was extra magnificent. Golden hooves, though Uni's were extra golden. Sparkling purple eyes, and Uni's were extra sparkling. Just magnificent. Like other unicorns, Uni had a special swirly horn with the power to heal and mend. And like the other unicorns, Uni could make wishes come true. But there was only one thing that definitely set Uni apart. And that was Uni believed that little girls were real. Uni's friends laughed and said, "Ha ha ha, silly Uni. Everyone knows there's no such thing as little girls. They're just make-believe." At home, Uni's parents just brushed it off with knowing smiles. But Uni was certain, absolutely certain, that little girls were real, no matter what everyone else said. Uni knew that somewhere far away, but not that far away, there was a little girl waiting, a strong, smart, wonderful, magical little girl. And she would be the best friend a unicorn could ever ask for. Uni imagined all the things that they would do together. They would run fast through the meadow. They would spin and twirl in the sunlight. They would explore and help forest creatures in need. And other times, they would just sit quietly and talk about important things. And of course, they would slide down a rainbow together. Uni fell asleep that night and had enchanted dreams. What Uni did not yet know, but would discover soon though, that somewhere far away, but not that far away, there was indeed a real little girl. And even though her friends said, "Ha ha ha, unicorns, they're just make-believe," and despite her parents' knowing smiles, this little girl also believed and was certain, absolutely certain, that there was a unicorn, a strong, smart, wonderful, magical unicorn, just waiting to be her friend. The end. So this was our story about unicorns. With this week, between dragons and unicorns, you'll have to stay tuned for our next video that will be following this one to explain the craft for this week. And don't forget, the Aaron Douillet Scholarship provided these awesome books for you to promote some summer reading, for you to choose your own favorite book. So stop into the library after you grab your craft to choose a book that's right for you this summer.